Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome to another card making tutorial from dolallycrafts. This is the card we're making today, and this one is being made for some friends over in Korea. As soon as I saw the cherry blossoms in this set, I knew straight away who I'd be sending it to, because over in Asia, the cherry blossoms are a big deal when they flower. I know that my mum was supposed to go on a cherry blossom tour years ago to Japan, and ended up getting detoured to South Korea and China when the tidal wave wiped out half of Japan. That was, she'd only left like 2 or 3 days from mainland Australia when the tsunami hit and wiped them out. So she didn't get to go and see the cherry blossoms in Japan. I'm hoping she saw some over in China and South Korea when she actually ended up there. Anyway, enough of that. This is the card we're making. I really, really love it. However, I've changed it, I tweaked it a little bit, because I wasn't entirely happy with how it turned out. Mainly because of the changes in the colours. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat and it's really annoying me. Now, I'm using my stamp positioner to get this stamped correctly. I might turn it that way, because this time, instead of tapping my... I actually started out by using smoky slate. I thought I'd change it to grey granite, because it's got more of a mushroomy pinky colour to my eye. However, I decided against that. I was going to use my daubers, but I'll show you why I didn't. This one was done with the daubers, and as you can see, you can't get a perfect print with the daubers because they're so large. So I wasn't happy with the way that showed up. That one is what happens when your plate misaligns because you were getting too fanciful. You get double vision. Now, there is another one I wanted to show. Here we go. This one I'm happier with. You'll have to pardon the shadowing there, but I was a lot happier with this one, and this is going old school with markers. This is the way I'm going to do it. So first, I need to bring in my little piece of white cardstock that I'm going to stamp on and get this positioned just right. Okay, I think that's about it. So I'm going to fasten this down, make sure that the magnet is not going to get in the way of the stamp. Now, where's my other magnet? Here we go. I knew it was around somewhere, because I need to make sure this is not going to move in the slightest. Now, I can fit that little magnet just up the top there, and it's not going to interfere. Now, I started off the other one with my Pear Pizzazz, but I'm going to actually start this one off with the Blushing Bride. And I'm going to pray for the best here, because I don't have my reading glasses here and I can't be stuffed going down to the lounge room to get them. So let's start. And I'm doing these bit by bit so that the ink doesn't have a chance to dry. So as you can see, I'm only doing a little bit at a time so that I get a decent print. Now, I will speed this up as I'm doing it, because it's going to take me a long time to get it done. So I'll fast forward and come back once I've finished all of the blushing bride part. Okay, so as you can see, I've got all of the blushing bride stamped now. Now I'm going to come in with the Melon Mambo, and this is just to give a little bit more definition to the center of the flowers. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to stamp them completely. I'm just going to, or I'm not going to ink them completely. What I'm going to do is just pounce on certain areas just to give them a little bit of definition. And the same down here. There we go, just to give them a little bit of definition, and you'll see why later. Okay, in with the Pear Pizzazz. There we go. Now, I'm not being really particular or overly particular with this. I've just realised though I have missed the bottom of this stamp, so I'm just going to come in and do a bit more there. That's it, we've finished that petal now, and just a little bit more on this one. There we go. Now, as I said, I didn't want to be too particular, I just wanted to get the area done. So I'm going to take this piece out now and move this aside, straighten up my work surface again so that it doesn't mess with your eyes or mine. Move that over there. Now I'm going to grab out my light old olive and these are the Stampin' blends, and I'm just going to do a little bit of the light old olive on the top parts of the leaves where they would catch the sun, and then the dark old olive I'm not being too particular with this. I don't mind there's a bit of white there, only because it gives it a bit of highlight. If you can hear noise, the neighbour's doing their lawn, and one of my cats has decided to come in and explore my cupboard. Now I'm just going over the branches here. And just around the bottom of the buds. There we go. That's all I want for those. And then I'm going to come in with the light petal pink. Now I've just got to check this because my petal pinks, to my eye, oh no, maybe it's not the petal pink. I thought the petal pinks were the wrong colour way round. Okay, so I'm just going to just give a little bit of colour to the bottom of the buds and the centre of the flowers. There we go. And that is the cherry blossom done. Now I'm going to pop that to the side, and I do have another cherry blossom sitting here somewhere. Here we go. It is a bit mucky, so I'll give it a quick clean. Dry that off and come back in with our two colours that we used for the others. Give that a good covering, and then turn that round as I pounce it. And I'm just going to pop that down there because we're going to be cutting this out. Okay, I think my daughter's awake and she's either listening to something. That does not sound like her singing, but I can hear somebody singing. And her room is just behind mine, so I do apologise if you can hear something else. Okay, so we have those flowers done. Now I've got to bring in just another scrap of white because I need a couple of leaves and bud done. Some. Okay, so I'm going to go away and I am going to cut out these. While I'm gone, I'm actually going to cut out some of the old olive or pear pizzazz and some of the white, so I'll be back shortly. I'm back, and as you can see I have everything cut out. Maybe not the best that I've cut out, but it's cut out. Unfortunately I've sort of had it misplaced, but it's done, and we have the separate one done. Now Stampin' Up! Is actually providing you with two of the little bud dies so that you can cut them out quicker, and you actually get two leaf dies as well, so you can do that a lot quicker. And that is in the Cherry Blossoms dies. Now I actually write the stamp set on the packet these days so that I know which ones they come with, and I used the frame from the So Sentimental stamp set. Now as you can see, both frames are the same size. However, this one has little notches, so you can see it's just stitching detail, and I'm using that stitching detail to trim the white piece to size so that it will fit inside that frame. So it says to a friend who makes me smile, that makes me smile. And I'm going to stamp it in the pear pizzazz. I'm going to stamp it over to the right hand side slightly, because the floral will curl around it. Like that. Yes, I do like the way that goes. So in with our snail. And as I said, I'm still using the snail because I have tons of it. So I just want to use it all up before I start using the seal. Okay, so we have that mounted. I'm going to flip that over and put Stampin' Dimensionals on. One there. And then just another two. I want to make sure this doesn't sag. So I'm going to bring in our base and then bring in we're going to be layering a lot on this card. Now with this one, on this card, as you can see, I've stamped the cherry blossoms singularly. So in with the Blushing Bride again, and we're just going to stamp randomly over the background, really randomly. Remember to go off the edges occasionally, just so that it looks like a full piece of paper. And then in with the Pear Pizzazz, and that is a really easy background to do. And we will come in with the snail, and I've run out of another one. And this goes with a small edge all the way around, like so. And then I have a piece of vellum. Now this piece of vellum does happen to have a little bit of a mark from the Pear Pizzazz, but that's fine because that's going to be covered over. So I'm going to bring in my snail and just put 2 strips of it there. And I'm not worried about the snail either, because when this goes on, it will hide it. And no, I'm not going to throw these over that way to the bin. I have a little cup over the side there for those pieces. Okay, so I'm going to come in and I'm just going to have a look at where I place that. Okay, so it's about there, like so. And then some of these pieces will need dimensionals, only 1 high, and some will need double dimensionals. So we know, so that's going to go there. So that one and that one only need to be single height, but the ones on this side need to be double height. 1, 2, and this one up the top will need double height as well. So take the backing off all of them. Like so, and then we're going to make sure that we place this around the sentiment, and then I'm going to come in with my paper snips, and I'm just going to take a small piece off here. Oops. And pop this doesn't want to come off. Like so, and that piece there we go, and then possibly another piece over here It's at times like this I really wish I brought my reading glasses down to the craft room so I can see what I'm doing. Yes, and that will sit there really nicely. Now with these other pieces, one is going to come up here. With a leaf there, and then these two little things, 1, 2, whoops, and just one more. Like so. And then I'm just going to bring in some of our frosted epoxy droplets. I'm going to remember what the name is. Just down the bottom there, and then another one there. Actually, no, I'm not going to have that one. Take him off and put him back. I'm going to come in with the Share What You Love. No, they're not. They're the peacock ones. And there we go. Okay, so that's almost the front of the card finished. I will bring back in the base, and because it's got so much height on the front, I'm not going to pop this up. I'm just going to lay it onto the front of the card like so. Flip it over and give it a good press. Now the inside of the card is done. Your friendship is a blessing. On the inside of this one, I haven't actually done anything else. So there we go. There's the two designs, slightly altered. That looks a bit weird there. I might actually take that off and just do something different. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the way the cards turned out. And I think I prefer doing the florals with the markers and then colouring them up with the Stampin' blends afterwards. I hope you like the cards and you'll give them a go. Okay, that's all from me for today. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.